fine art, silver, and furniture. You name it, was all appraised Saturday in Warwick.
It's a clock that was on my grandmother's mantle for as long as I can remember. It's a French mantle clock.
Hundreds lined up to bring in their treasures. They're being appraised as part of PBS's Antiques Discovery and Appraisal Show.
A map from the late 1800s of the Great Boston Fire in the city and the firehouses that burnt down. It's a blueprint of where they were going to rebuild them.
Tom Ward brought in a chair.
He said it's probably around 1830s. It's in kind of rough shape, so there's really, I guess it falls under their threshold that it has some value, but it's not I can't retire on it.
And Saturday's appraisal event was hosted by Rhode Island PBS. It is being filmed for a TV show. People paid a fee for each item to get a written appraisal.
We want to pull out as much of, Rhode Island that we can. Furniture come in, lots of fine art. They're always the big things that come in.
And one item that we noticed creating a lot of buzz, a ticket to the Titanic. The owner says he found it in a Bible at a yard sale.
It's the 100th year anniversary of the sinking of the Titanic. Been trying to get some different appraisals on it and just see if it's authentic.
They laugh like normal teenage girls, but for these 12 LaSalle students, what they did above and beyond.
I do believe that this trip changed my life. I want to go back so bad. Like, I just got home and I want to go back.
Go back to Camden, New Jersey, right outside of Philadelphia. That's where the girls spent the past week working at the Habitat for Humanity, a food bank, and an adult daycare with the disabled.
They were the first ones in the kitchen to help clean up. They were the ones that were working the hardest everywhere we went.
I was intimidated at first because I was uncomfortable and I was put outside my comfort zone, and it's hard to immerse yourself in something where you don't know where you are.
This photo shows how rough the area that the girls were in actually is, but they say they made some special connections.
The people you meet have so much hope, and even though you know that they're not in the best of luck, but they are so hopeful.
And also learned a lifelong lesson.
It's so easy to take advantage of the things that we have when we're here. Sometimes you have money and your job is to go out and greet the poor.
And there are 2 service learning trips left for LaSalle students. We're told in April that some students will actually be going to Montana to work at a school on an Indian reservation. We're told some kids will also be going to help restore New Orleans as well. Reporting in the newsroom, I'm Catherine Sotnick, Eyewitness News. The Rhode Island Convention Center Saturday night transformed into a battleship theme as part of the 19th annual Special Gala Ball to benefit Hasbro Children's Hospital. The battleship theme chosen in recognition of the upcoming film Battleship, based on the Hasbro toy game.
Every year this seems to get better and better and does more and more for the kids and families.
And there are plenty of kids who need the hospital.
In the last year, nearly 80,000 kids walked through the doors of Hasbro Children's Hospital.
The event also had a silent auction and a live auction, dinner and dancing, and a special performance by the B-52s. Our very own chief meteorologist, Tony Petracca, was also the MC of the event. Last year, with the help of sponsors, we're told they raised $900,000. This year, they hope to raise more than $1 million. Money that organizers say is critical to what they do.
Hasbro Children's Hospital was built by the community. We're part of the community, and to see all the community here just warms our heart. It makes it all worthwhile.
We need tonight to bring everyone together so that our hospital can be there when parents need us and when the children need us.
And the contributions from the ball will go towards some of the critical programs at Hasbro Children's Hospital with the greatest needs. Now, since 1993, we can tell you that the ball has raised $8.5 million for Hasbro Children's Hospital. I'm Catherine Sotnick, Eyewitness News.
Jenna Jacks is 9 years old and already a cancer survivor. Less than a year ago, doctors found a malignant tumor in her brain.
It had spread to her spine and the rest of her brain and seeded itself to grow.
After operating, the family says Jenna is now cancer-free.
It was just a breath of relief. We could actually breathe at that point.
Heather Jacks says her daughter is a fighter.
She's spunky and sassy, and she's definitely a soldier. She's a very strong kid.
To honor her fight, the Rhode Island Pink Heels dedicated this donated rescue to Jenna.
She's very remarkable, she's inspirational, and hence the reason why we wanted to name a truck after her.
They opened their arms to us like a family.
Friends, family, and fellow cancer survivors continued to open their arms to the family as they watched the 9-year-old sign her own name on the truck. Then it was Jenna's mother's turn as she emotionally wrote a message to her young daughter, calling her a hero. Others got their chance to sign the truck, one by one, leaving a note for someone they love. Organizers tell us this is the first time a pink rescue's been named after a child with cancer in the Northeast. In the newsroom, I'm Steve Nielsen, Eyewitness News.
A normal Sunday Mass at St. John the Baptist Church in New Bedford, but soon it will be their last Mass.
Besides my husband, my kids, and my immediate family, this is my family. We have friends, we do things together, and it's like losing a member of our family.
And saddened parishioners Sunday say they found out last week through a letter from the bishop. Parishioners will be able to go to the nearby Our Lady of Mount Carmel, but they're hoping for a divine intervention.
It saddens us. We're not looking forward to merging. There's nothing wrong with the other churches. We've just found our home here.
The historic church also holds several Portuguese masses.
New Bedford is Portuguese. We have such a strong heritage here. We don't want to see it go.
And we're told the 141-year-old church is in need of a new roof. That, along with declining enrollment and other financial burdens, have made it costly to maintain. No word yet on when the doors will close, but parishioners say it could be soon. Christine Marshall has been in the choir since she was 5 years old and has helped build a new generation of choir members. Still, it may not be enough.
People move to the outskirts, and like Father Jack said, the demographics have changed, so the next generation of people, are either not coming to church or going other places.
And at this point, we still don't know what will happen to the St. John the Baptist Church building. That right now is still up in the air. In the newsroom, I'm Catherine Slotnick, Eyewitness News. If you were wondering just who Steven Tyler was talking to and what he was saying on American Idol this past week, well, he was saying hi to this boy.
It felt pretty awesome.
7-year-old Cole Grace of West Warwick. So you're a rock and roll fan then, I take it?
Yes.
Cole has been diagnosed with stage 4 glioblastoma, a rare and aggressive type of brain cancer. But as he rested in the hospital, he had a wish.
I wanted to sing Walk This Way.
Is that your favorite song?
Yes.
When he said that, I said, well, why do you want to talk to Steven Tyler? And he said, because I want to sing Walk This Way with him. And I went, that is the coolest thing ever.
So Cole dressed up, and through the internet, the two shared some special moments, family included.
They were singing it together, and like when Steven Tyler said, walk this way, he'd like get closer and closer to the camera.
Cole is now home, resting from 3 recent surgeries. In fact, he actually got out of the hospital on Friday. On his to-do list now, play basketball and go to Target with his Nana. His doting family calls him their superhero. The community coming out Sunday in Woonsocket to help this man, Paul Lambert, who suffers from a rare type of lymphoma. In and out of the hospital, Paul was able to make it to the bone marrow testing drive himself, but time is ticking for the 58-year-old who normally works in the hospital repairing dialysis machines.
I see people every day in the hospital being helped, with a life-threatening disease, and to have one yourself is humbling.
And to add to his rare cancer is his rare tissue type. He's part French-Canadian and part Native American. Now he needs the help of others.
It's tough for me. It's very tough.
And why is it tough?
Because I'm not the kind of guy that usually looks for help. I'd rather be the helper.
And many volunteers came out.
I donate blood when I can, and it's just something that you should be taking care of for other people.
I heard about it on Facebook, and Paul's actually a member at the Circle Aurea, and I figured it takes 5 minutes, and if it can help him, I help somebody else. It's the right thing to do.
His family now just waiting for a call.
You're always hoping they're going to call you and say, we found a match. So far, it hasn't, but we're hopeful today. We've already seen so many people come through, and we can't tell you how that it's important.
His only hope is a match. We need to find him a match.
And everyone is staying positive and keeping their fingers crossed.
If they don't help me, they can help somebody else.
And for more information on how you can help Paul with his marrow search, all you have to do is log on to our website at WPRI.com. I'm Catherine Slotnick, Eyewitness News. The falling rain, the only sound as Sergeant Dennis Weichel's body returns home, his family there on the tarmac. And the plane touched down early Saturday morning at TF Green, a hearse waiting to take the flag-draped casket to the funeral home, a hero being laid to rest.
He did something that most people wouldn't do. It was to save somebody else. That's a soldier.
And Weichel, who's a father of 3 and just 29 years old, was killed after he was hit by an armored vehicle in Afghanistan trying to pull a child to safety after she tried to pick up a shell casing.
She ran under to get it, and children being children, not really having a full comprehension of what she was doing, Sergeant Weichel saw it, ran under the vehicle to get her out. He did recover her, and unfortunately he was struck.
Weichel is the 5th Rhode Island National Guard member to be killed. Saturday, fellow members of the National Guard carried his coffin, and one stayed with Sergeant Weichel's body every step of the way. Weichel leaves behind 3 children, Nicholas, Hope, and Madison. Local police, the governor, the mayor of Providence, and local veteran motorcycle groups also there Saturday on this somber day. They came and played soccer Saturday, all to benefit local city children.
Without this program, I'd probably, who knows where I'd be right now.
And Project Gold does just that, transforms lives.
It presented me with the opportunity to go to private school, and possibly the best school in the state, and certainly one of the best schools in the country.
Eyewitness News is one of the proud sponsors of the event. Our staff and news team even hitting the field. We can tell you that Project Gold started back in 2004 and helps underprivileged children get a chance to do something different. Organizers say they struggle for funding every year. This year, they were hoping to raise more than 10 grand.
Transportation is actually one of our biggest expenses, getting buses to get kids to the program.
And kids who are accepted into the program go to Moses Brown or another field about twice a week for an hour and a half of a schoolwork period, followed by another hour and a half of soccer.
If you mess up in any way, the second hour and a half, instead of playing soccer, you're in with a teacher for an hour and a half. So we're very, very strict with the kids. We expect results. We expect discipline. We expect them to do their work.
Now, I'm in college at College of Mount St. Vincent. I maintain a 3.3 GPA. And this, it's all prioritizing, I would say.
Hundreds of walkers cross the MS Walk finish line in Providence Sunday, all walking for someone special.
My mom, Barbara Schwartzberg, who passed away in December.
The doctor told you you'd never walk again.
Absolutely, and if I did, it would be with a walking device.
But Tara Costa is walking again, the whole 3-mile route. She admits her time with MS hasn't been easy.
2009, I had a couple of bouts of going into the hospital. And 2010, I was paralyzed from the waist down. I was in the hospital for 8 weeks. Wasn't supposed to walk again. But for my boys, I fought, and I'm walking now.
And we're told the money raised will go towards local families and support national research.
We expect to raise hopefully $300,000. And what's great about the walk is everyone participates. We have a lot of people with MS and their families and their dogs and their pets.
Families like Tina and Dan Contoy, who are walking for their 26-year-old son, Thomas.
Life completely stopped. He lost feeling in his entire body. So I'm so grateful that people came out today and are making a difference.
And in the U.S. alone, 400,000 people are living with MS. We could tell you that an additional 200 people are diagnosed each week. I'm Catherine Slotnick, Eyewitness News. They're walking for the Bristol Animal Shelter, but for 10-year-old Eddie Roya, he's going the distance, literally. Are you nervous about walking that far?
A little bit, but I'll be able to manage it.
Eddie,
if you have your sticker,
and his grandmother are walking across the entire state, a 5-day trip to raise money for homeless animals.
I just got this idea that we should walk across the state to prove it's not that easy.
I'm game for an adventure. We were planning on doing it very slowly over a course of so many days, nothing out of our reach.
They say the idea began as a joke.
My son Robert made that remark that it ticks him off when people do that. Rhode Island's so small you can just walk across it.
Eddie, who's also homeschooled by his grandmother, will learn geography along the way. He's also gotten plenty of sponsorship and has raised close to $2,500 for the cats and dogs who need homes the most.
I just love this shelter. It's been mine, and every time I come, I go into the cat room and just pet everyone. Pet every cat I can see.
We always knew he was a remarkable young man. He's been a volunteer here since he was born. His family is very involved in shelter activities, and he's just followed through from when he was a young child.
And they should finish that walk sometime on Thursday. To track his progress, all you have to do is go to our website at WPRI.com. I'm Catherine Zotnick, Eyewitness News.
This is the stuff I don't like.
Volunteers from across Rhode Island do some back-breaking work Saturday to clean the ponds around Roger Williams Park.
We've got some potato chip bags, burnt styrofoam.
Before all the foliage is clouding your view, we're able to pull out bottles and trash with these special rakes that we made.
And this year, a record number of volunteers came out for Earth Day weekend.
Roger Williams Park is like the biggest park in Providence, and this is the biggest place that we can make our impact with the volunteers that we can leverage.
And the work is not easy.
Well, I'm a lobbyer. I'm here to clean up all the brush so the paths are clean for the people to come through and picking up the heavy stuff.
It's going well. You know, there's a lot of trash here, so we're trying to get it cleaned up for everybody to enjoy it.
The Earth Day event at Roger Williams is put on by Serve Rhode Island, which administers the AmeriCorps program. It is their 5th annual park cleanup.
Someday they hope they can swim here, but we got a ways to go on that.
The last song forever at the Episcopal Cathedral of St. John in Providence. And for the parishioners who flocked here throughout the years, they're deeply saddened, many shedding tears.
It's devastating. Sorry. I feel so empty, but also joyous because I'm going to start a new life in a new church.
The cathedral is the 4th oldest church in the diocese and has irreplaceable 17th century beauty.
I'm just hoping and praying that the people here hold on to their faith in spite of having to let go of the building.
But faced with financial instability and repairs in the millions, the church has decided to suspend its services for good.
The cost of the building is so great and the maintenance needs are so high and renovation that we could not sustain the congregation.
The building will now be winterized and secured, valuables removed. What will happen with it next, still up in the air.
I have left parishes before, but this is the hardest. I love this church. I love the people in it, and I've been very sick in the past few months. I've been in a coma several times. So they were there for me, and I love them dearly.
And many parishioners who go to the cathedral will now go to the Grace Episcopal Church in Providence or other nearby Episcopal churches. I'm Catherine Zotnick, Eyewitness News. Well, in this latest round of nightclub violence, Providence police tell us about 50 to 60 people were involved in that disturbance, and we're told that glass bottles were being thrown throughout that nightclub. Providence police respond to the Monet Lounge on Harris Ave around 2 in the morning Saturday for a violent and dangerous fight involving dozens of people in the club's VIP section. And 2 people had to be rushed to the hospital, police say, after they were struck with glass bottles in what they're calling a fight between up to 60 people. Councilman Terrence Hassett represents the Smith Hill section where the club is located.
It's supposed to be a safe environment. We're demanding that it be safe and enjoyable. And what we have to do to make sure that it happens, we're going to take care of it.
And Providence City councilors recently passed a resolution to take a closer look at nightclub policies in the wake of 5 people being stabbed Easter morning at the Level 2 nightclub.
I think we have to carefully look at every license, how many infractions there have been, reports, fights, those kind of things. And that has to be on a checklist. If you get so many of those, you're going to lose your license.
Police say in the latest case, the victims were hit with glass bottles, one in the shin and one in the face and chest area. No word on how they're doing right now, but Hassan admits repeated violence like this, not good for Providence's reputation.
It does hurt. It does hurt. But lawmakers like myself and the city council is very active in the community. We're going to make sure that it's corrected.
And Providence police say they did arrest a David Rodriguez. At this point, we don't know exactly where he is from or his age, but we do know that he was charged with disorderly conduct for what police say allegedly trying to get back inside of that club and taking what police call a fighting stance. Reporting in the newsroom, I'm Catherine Sotnick, Eyewitness News.